Hi. Just some thoughts, I guess, to wrap up telephasia, and really am responding to some things that Leopold brought up, and just that concept of technology making communication and travel, making it more abstract, and how it's restricting that personal contact that we have with one another. Um, if we look at it and say, oh, I've got this smartphone or this laptop and I've got access to um, sightseeing virtually, or I can visit all these museums and see their exhibit online. I don't have to go in person. And in some ways, it's so, um, sorry, I can't think of the word right now, but it just makes it really convenient. And in doing that, we're losing that personal connection with someone. We're losing, if you go to a museum and or you go on, you tour something, if you meet up with like a tour guide or a docent, someone that's, in a gallery, generally they're going to give you more of the story. There's only so much that you can read about in a brochure or the information that's mounted next to a piece of art. But when you hear a background story of what the artist was going through when that was created, or looking at different artifacts, we have more of a sense of connection. And is it just because a person was telling us? I think that has a lot to do with it, that communication. Even they're just relaying information, but it's important, I believe. So we lose the real space interaction, and in some ways, this is requiring more maintenance. There's so many different interfaces or outlets that you can use. So you're like, oh, I've got Facebook for my business, and Facebook my personal page, and then there's LinkedIn, and I can't. There's a lot. There's so many things, right? I don't know them all. So just to have time to maintain all of that, it's not convenient, is what I'm trying to point out. And then we think that technology has made life easier in some ways, but as Leopold pointed out, it's interfering. It's interfering with cultural traditions, whether that's dinner time around the table together, just reconnecting and talking about your day, or different. Sorry. We're just filling our lives with kind of more artificial stuff, more digital communications versus that real time spent with somebody, real space. So, where third nature is taking over the first and second. And I brought this up earlier in this class, but I think of that movie WALL-E, where we have really overweight people, floating around on those little scooters. They've got screens in front of their faces. And, there's life, there's connection that's happening, and we miss it because we've got that digital stuff in front of us. So I would say that's one thing I did appreciate about this class, even though it's an online class, right, and we're like forced to use computers. It was very good to have so much interaction with the students in the class, our peers, because of the, we had to do all these group discussions and post videos and that sort of thing. So I think that was really good way to move past the technology part and move past the third nature, right? All right, thank you. It was good learning lots of new concepts with everyone.